especially with Mob Rule. That was absolutely awesome. Dave moving on to 2-0, I have to imagine, after this. He says he's been having a lot of 3-1s and 4-0s in these four-round tournaments on a standard tournaments on a Thursday, should I say, here in Gamers World. So, impressive performance there from Dave. He looked dead and buried at one point.
Should be back up now.
Should be back up now or soon.
No.
Right now?
Yeah, Murray's laptop had a hissy fit.
Oh, great news. Okay. So, let's refresh the page and maybe people can hear me. Maybe we can see other people.
See other people?
Yeah.
I've been looking at you all night so far.
I know, yeah. I need something else to look at. God damn it. Okay.
Quickly shut down that pop-up. That was not supposed to be there.
Where are you? What pop-up?
I was just messing.
Oh, okay. So, how do you feel so far about tonight? What we've seen, what we may see?
Well, we've seen players who play here a lot.
Yep.
Playing the decks they always play.
Yep.
It's nice to see them from a different perspective and actually see them play.
Yeah. True.
See some interesting things.
Absolutely. It's really a different perspective coming from here rather than sitting out there, right?
Yeah.
And the best thing is you don't get mana screwed when you're watching people play Magic. It's so good.
Why do you think I judge?
Yeah, absolutely. Something going on here. This doesn't seem to be working still, so I don't know. This thing's falling over. We can't watch it on the laptop. Maybe people are still listening. Okay, we're back. Maybe we've been here all along.
Maybe we're back.
Maybe
but
we're back. Yeah.
People have been listening. You
Yeah.
could have said the weirdest things.
True. I tried to keep it, sane.
Civilized.
Civilized, sane, yeah. Above board. Kosher. So, we're back. We've been here all along. We never left. We're still sitting here. This is Gamers World in Dublin. We're in Dublin, Ireland. I'm here. Daniel Gilligan's my name. Sander Barr sitting beside me. We're bringing you standard coverage here once a week. Thursdays, we play 4 rounds of standard. 2 rounds gone so far tonight. Dave Murphy there just winning 2-1 versus Sean Fitzgerald. Mardu Midrange versus Abzan
In the
Reanimator.
best way possible.
In the very best way possible. Mob Rule, if you didn't catch it, it was awesome. So, we have...
I think that every time he plays that card, he should start singing The Mob Rules by Black Sabbath, no?
I don't know the song, but it sounds great.
Yeah, the chorus goes like, The Mob Rules, It's,
Yeah, that sounds great.
start playing. Start
Nice.
actually tell Andy to just, play it on the laptop outside every time this happens. Mob Rule,
Yeah.
The Mob Rules.
Yeah, Dave just shouts over, he's like, hit it, Andy, hit it. You just have the button ready, like, yes. Yeah, no, sounds great. I love when you just get this really janky card that just gets them. They just like, yeah, I have this board wrapped up, got loads of tokens here at the block, all my Hornet-Queens, loads of guys, it's awesome, yeah. Oh, wait a second, you take them all. Just all of them. And sacrifice them. Hit me with them and then sacrifice them. Okay, so I lose the game then. Fair enough.
Yeah, that happened. Aw.
So our streaming laptop had a midlife crisis, apparently. I like that. Yeah, so like we said, we're not professionals, even though we like to think we are. This is kind of crappy equipment that we have lying around. It's better than most,
Hey,
but
don't
it's
say crappy.
yeah, it's not professional equipment.
Now, we have to say it's great. Most of our laptops work fine, except for the high spec Alienware laptop that the stream runs on just gave out.
The ridiculously good laptop. It's weighs like 4 kilograms. It's like a really slick gaming laptop. But
Don't talk to me about the weight. I know I had to carry that thing around today.
yeah, no. So anyway, these things happen. We're back. We will hopefully be here for the rest of the night, bringing you more Magic. 2 more rounds of Magic to come. Some interesting decks, hopefully.
Hopefully. We have some players who always manage to bring something to the table. Sometimes they don't.
So a lot of times, as you'll probably see in a lot of local game stores, people pick their deck and they play their deck, right?
Deck. We have our Dublin PPTQ winner playing here tonight with a further version of his Warriors deck. Although, seeing here, he's also gone on the Mardu route, playing some... Well, he's calling it Mardu aggro.
Black, white, red with a small ore. Yeah, so touching red for something.
Outpost Siege and Butcher of the Horde, it looks like. Okay. Yes.
Cool. 2 Butcher of the Horde only.
2 Butcher of the Horde.
4 Herald of Torment.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, what I didn't understand is I saw 2 Soulfire Grandmaster, but apart from... well, actually nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing in the main deck that he's giving lifelink. Nothing.
Lifelink,
Not a- not a
lifelink
s-
with the
not-
Soulfire, you mean?
Yeah, not
Okay.
a single card. So basically, this makes you
He's a
buy
2/2
back
lifelink that-
raise the alarm
yeah.
of the red mana you have.
Yeah.
Even looking at the sideboard, there's one
Wild
wild
Slash,
slash.
Flare
So
of Heresy, maybe.
that's a very odd choice for the
Yeah.
Grandmaster in this deck.
True.
Um,
Maybe he just wants a guy with lifelink.
yeah, possibly.
Seems okay, I
Just
guess.
2/2 lifelink.
Yeah.
But then you have Seeker of the Wave, so you just Seeker of the Wave and then turn after raise the alarm,
Yeah.
and you're there as well.
Yeah, very true. Okay, so we saw the Goblin Ride deck earlier. We've seen
Yeah.
some mono green devotion. We've seen some mono red aggro. We've seen some Whip of Erebus strategies. We have
Mardu that we've
Eamon
seen.
Jones. Yeah, so we see Abzan aggro here from
Unfortunately,
Francesco.
we're missing some deck lists. We've also seen some Teamer aggro already. But yeah, Daniel Gutierrez is one of the players here. Yeah, he's from Spain, I believe. And he has been playing a 4-color control deck.
I've played against him. He loves his colours in Magic. So the
Oh,
Marcin
yeah.
Shisinski of Constructed, we might call him. Marcin obviously hanging around with playing limited 4 colours. What's he playing?
No, limited 5 colors.
Oh, Marcin, yeah, minimum 4 colours, I should have said, yeah. What's Daniel playing?
Daniel's playing a 4-color control deck. From what I've seen, he built it around the Planeswalkers. It is a deck that I've seen play Aether Spades, Heroes Downfall, End Hostilities. And notice how I'm mentioning double colored cards.
Yeah.
I believe he has Caryatids in his deck, which would not surprise me.
Yeah.
There's also Ashiok, there's Sorin, there's Elspeth,
Wow.
there's all the good Kiora.
Splashing Chandra Power Master for double red, possibly.
Haven't seen it.
Okay.
Could be possible.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if he's playing that tonight, but it is a 4-color control deck. So possibly we get to see that later on.
Cool. Awesome. So, rounding down the last couple of minutes here in the round, folks. We won't be too long. Little bit low in numbers tonight. Only, I think, 11 or 12 people playing here tonight, so...
The funny thing is, apparently, apart from people enjoying what we do, because, we have viewers tune into this every week,
Yep.
the players seem to enjoy it as well, because our modern events have been growing in size, which must have gone a bit, with the numbers of standard.
Absolutely.
Hopefully by doing this both nights, regardless of numbers, we get to show you some interesting Magic and more
sure.
players playing.
For sure.
So yeah.
Yeah, so like you mentioned there, obviously the numbers in Modern building up. We've been going for about 3-4 weeks now. The Modern coverage on a Wednesday, so people
we've
love
had-
getting on the camera.
We've had 20 plus players for 4 weeks now.
27 players, I believe, in here last night.
Before we started video streaming, even when Treasure Cruise was, we've been running the Modern Wednesday since October, but there were already a bigger number of players who had access to Modern decks, and this was just after Treasure Cruise became legal. But not everyone was playing the Treasure Cruise decks yet.
Yeah.
So you still had a lot of the older decks around because that's the decks players had.
Yeah.
But even then, we had months where, we'd had between 10, 16 players,
Yeah.
or maybe sometimes 8.
Yeah.
But since we've started streaming, the first week I think we had 18 or 19, but it's been growing every
20,
week.
21, 24, 27 last night, so
Yep,
yeah,
so-
it's really building up.
Yeah, so between those numbers is great, and hopefully for standard we get those numbers as well. But I can imagine that standard at the moment is very difficult for people to get into.
Little bit.
I know that I'm struggling to find something I like, and because I like decks that I like, let's say Teamer Ascendancy,
Yeah.
which has just the right level of not being very competitive, but still able to put in the results if the player knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
I like playing that kind of deck and sticking with it. But if I would play an actual competitive deck, I wouldn't know what to choose at the
Yeah,
moment.
true. And the format rotates so fast. It's really rotating so fast, the standard format. Like every 2 weeks or something, it's just jumping. And what was tier 1 last week is now tier 2, tier whatever. Like you have these Abzan decks that are hanging around. So you've got kind of the Abzan mid-range deck, which is kind of the pillar of the format. It's the one that doesn't really change. So we see small iterations kind of
Yeah.
Do you play Caryatid? Do you not play Caryatid? Do you play Rat? Do you not? Do you play like a 1 of Ugin? Do you play, some of your numbers change slightly, but generally you've got an Abzan mid-range deck. But then you've got all these other decks that just go up and down. They're good, they're bad, they're different. You've got the Abzan aggro deck. A couple weeks ago was the best deck in the format, kind of before Cans came out. I think it was the top performing deck at the time. The Fatal Forge, excuse me.
Yeah. But now the aggro decks, for weeks I haven't seen them play it, and now all of a sudden they're adding in Warden of the First Tree, also known as Fair Figure of Destiny.
Fair Figure of Destiny, yeah. Then you've got like the blue-white aggro deck, of course, or the blue-white, how do you call it, the heroic deck. So you have that. You've got the white-red aggro deck that's floating around now. It's quite popular. We've got a green-red aggro deck. We spoke a little bit earlier on, kind of almost teamer aggro without blue. We're nearly calling it now. So it's like a ferocious, or ferocious. Is that the ability, the 4 power?
Yeah.
So you have a lot of those ferocious type creatures, enabling, say, your Sphinx to come back from the graveyard. So that kind of thing. Then you've got like the ramp strategies. So you've got the green ramp strategy, splashing black.
Splashing green, the green splashing red.
For sure. Yeah. Before we were seeing a lot of splash black for the likes of the Whip of Erebos and the Doomwake Giant, like what Sean was just playing. Nowadays, the last couple of weeks, we're seeing red be the splash colour. We mentioned a little bit earlier on in the night about the red-green ramp deck. 2 copies in the Star City Games Open at the weekend in Houston. 2 copies making top 8.
2 of them in top 8. One winner.
One winner indeed, yeah. Robert Burney actually won the tournament there with the deck. It was awesome. Tannen Grace also making top 8 with a very similar deck as well. So a lot of the usual suspects, really. Your Sylvan Caryatids, your Voyaging Satyrs, Courser Crufix, all that type of stuff. Fairly basic. Eidolon of Blossoms, do you play it, do you not? Do you kind of put in that Constellation team? Some decks do, some decks don't.
But you should.
You probably should. It draws you cards. It gives you 2 pips there for the Nykthos as well. Pelucranos actually was in Robert Burney's deck as well, so he's playing 4 Eidolon and 4 Pelucranos, which was interesting, but obviously paid off for him. And then he also played a full 4 of Whisperwood. Cool. So Whisperwood Elemental, of course, one of the big winners of the weekend. So I think we're going to see a lot more of that card going forward.
So we're going to see some Abzan here now. Francesco playing Abzan.
Malleus, no blue-black tonight, I'm afraid. We don't get to show you that, but that's probably a good thing. The blue-black control deck actually winning the Grand Prix at the weekend. So with 2 big standard tournaments at the weekend, one of them won by the red-green deck and one of them won by a blue-black control deck. But we don't want to watch blue-black. It's slow, it's boring, it doesn't really do a lot. I'd be fond of probably playing with it, but it's not the most enjoyable thing to watch, really. It takes forever to do anything as well.
See, for me it wouldn't be janky enough. My win condition would definitely be Pearl Ancient Master the Way.
Master the Way?
Master the Way is cans of Turkey are uncommon. You choose target creature or player, and you deal damage equal to the number of cards in your hand.
You also draw a card,
Yeah, so you flash in a Hurling Ancient, keep 5 mana up. You make sure you have like tons of lands. You return them all to your hand with that trigger from the Hurling Ancient before you bounce it. That
like
comes
12 of them or something like that.
You draw a card, and you just master the way them.
That's absolutely hilarious.
This is a valid limited strategy. Adam Alexander plays it.
So you actually go like Master the Way, in response return like 9 lands to my hand, do it like 3 times, return 9 lands to my hand plus probably like 3-4 other cards, and you just like 12 them.
Yeah, kill them.
That's hilarious.
It is.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
But if you untap and then attack and they think they're safe on like 20, so they're like, okay, no blocks, okay, before damage, prowess trigger with Master the Way, so 1 extra, so you're attacking for 8.
I'm pretty sure Master the Way is a sorcery.
Oh.
Can't have all the things.
Master the Way is not a sorcery. Master the Way is an instant, man.
Is it? I don't pay attention to standard cards. What are you talking about?
This is not a standard card. This is a limited card. Master of... No, it's not Master of. Master the, isn't it?
No, it's a sorcery.
It's a sorcery. Who earns?
The shame.
How am I ever going to get them to not block if I play that in my first main phase? And I obviously can't do it in the second main phase. I need the prowess trigger. Like, you have to get across for 8.
Attack first.
Yeah, I have to get over for 8. Like, this guy's prowess for a reason. Okay, so here we are, round 3.
You need to cast 2 spells because he's a 6/7.
He is a 6/7? I thought he was a 7/6.
No.
No? Okay. Well, he's massive. Anyway,
Big
so here
butts.
we go. Big butts
theme.
indeed.
That's the theme of Cancer here.
Very
block
true
so
indeed.
far. I mean, Siege Rhino, Pearling Ancient, Tassiger.
Yep.
It started off with Brimass having 4 toughness,
True. 3-4.
or Corsair being 2-4.
Yep. A lot of guys that hanging around the standard right now. Big butts.
Uh,
So anyway, let's get away from big butts for now. Get back to that later.
What
if
do you
we can.
mean? What do you mean? We have Monogreen Devotion again.
Very true. There's a lot of big butts in that deck. So,
There's
Monogreen
also
Devotion.
against Absalon Aggro.
Yeah. Absalon Aggro there, Francesco Giampaolo on the left-hand side of your screen. Right-hand side of your screen going to be Graeme Fallaize, and he's going to be playing Mono Green Devotion.
He's called he's lovingly nicknamed this deck Zombie Attack.
Zombie Attack.
Yes.
Alrighty
Are there any
then.
zombies in this deck?
No, I was looking for a copy of the
Empty the
Sidisi.
pits.
Ah.
Sidisi is not playing Absalon.
No, it's not, because that's the wrong colours. It is if it's me. If it's for the PTQ and I want to play Standard, I'm going to play Abzan, and I'm going to play Sidisi, and I'm going to play Caesar Rhino, and I'm going to play Solitaros. That's just me.
It's not a very good deck.
It was a great deck. It was
It's
awesome.
not a very good deck.
It was awesome. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Here we are, Abzan Aggro on the left. We didn't see who won the roll here. I'm not too sure who's on the play. We'll probably find out pretty soon.
Yeah.
Francesco looking at opening hand here. Looks like a copy of Sansep Citadel over on the left. Here's Graham's hand with 1 copy of Nykthos. Big payoff card in the deck, of course. I saw a Corsair Crufix in there as well. I'm not too sure what else. Francesco, at least 1 Wingmate Rock in the hand. There's a copy of Temple of Silence to get us going. Gonna scry the top card, leave it on top, and pass
Well,
the
the
top.
aggro deck wouldn't play any Corsairs, of course. But... Oh, sorry, you were talking about Graham's
Yeah,
hand,
Graeme.
of course. Yeah. Corsair. Of course, sir.
Of course, sir, indeed. So, another scry land here. Temple of Milady for Francesco, and just a pass up the turn.
I think this is extremely surprising. You know, when I think aggro deck, I immediately think of Mono Red or Zoo or, you know, decks like that.
Yep.
What I don't think is, oh, I'm going to play 3-4 Scry Temples and then start playing my guys.
Oh yeah, it's not like probably like 12 tap lands in the deck total. They'd play so many tap lands, it's unbelievable. Sansep Citadel, Scry lands,
Do you have Lanor Wastes and
Mana Confluence.
the
Yep.
Caves of Koilos was
Yep.
the one I was looking for,
Yep.
and yeah, Mana Confluence.
Yep.
And then you play 4 Windswept Heath, play 3-4 Forest on the Plains maybe, and then you're there.
But you've
Take
got,
some damage. But Warden of the first tree. If I built that deck, I'd play untapped lands.
Yeah.
There we see Lanor Waste and boom, Sea
but
Trino.
you play Warden of the first tree, then you play well, okay, so he's green. You also play the Rakshasa Death Dealer green black.
Yeah.
You play the Fleecemane Lion
Green,
white
white.
green.
Yeah.
Then you curve into the Anafenza white black green. Then you curve into the Siege Rhino white black green. You've got double white off your what do you call them? The Wingmate Rocks. You have a lot of heavy mana concerns in this deck. The mana is actually one of the worst things about this deck, but
Well,
you know,
not
you
if
have
you
to.
mind taking damage, but if you want to call yourself an aggro deck, you're going to take it.
Well, okay.
Wouldn't you?
Well, okay. Well, I'm not arguing with you. I'm saying
It
okay.
doesn't
yeah.
make sense.
Yeah.
If you want to be an aggro deck and you have such an aggressive card, but mainly what I'm trying to say is if you're going to play the Warden of the First Tree, which pumps himself huge, and gives himself lifelink, it's one of his abilities, why not just go for that? And you have 4 Siege Rhinos.
Sure.
So you're going to take damage, yeah, but you're going to drain your opponent with, say, 6 cards, 2 Wardens and Siege Rhinos. So if you have a Warden, you just pump it, because the first pump is 2, make him a 3-3. Then you have 4 mana, you know, so if you don't have a Rhino, you do that.
Yep.
Which gives him lifelink, and then you put those counters on him at 6 mana. And obviously that banks on your opponent not having removal for him, but your Lion is a 3-3 for 2. You know, especially Watch Wolf until you can monstrous him.
Yep.
And then the Rakshasa Death Dealer. I mean, realistically, how many times are you going to pump him if you have other relevant things to be doing?
Yeah, true.
So, to me, that many tap lands don't make sense. At
Yeah.
the most, I'd play 4 Sandsteps.
Yeah, I think you need the Sansep Citadel with all the different mana concerns, all the different colours you need to be finding.
And that's fine for turn 1, because
Yeah.
you can still play your turn 2 Rakshasa Death Dealer or Fleecemane Lion. So, the amount of Scry Temples in the deck don't make sense.
Yeah, I think the thing about it is you don't have many 1-drops, so you've added Warden of the first 3 now, but before that you didn't really have a 1-drop in the deck, so you had a spot to play out the tapped land on turn 1. Then you had usually a 2-drop on turn 2, so you had a Lion or a Rakshasa. You also didn't have all that many 3s either, so you have your Anafrenzas, but you didn't have a lot of 3s, so you find another spot in your curve for an extra tap land on turn 3. So I think really that's the idea with the deck, is doing that. But like you said, I mean, you do have a lot of creatures that you can play in and around your curve, so often having a tap land can be a big cost, but you know, it's an aggressive deck. It plays a lot of low mana cost creatures, but actually it can play a game because all of its creatures are high impact. It can still play a mid-range game, meaning it doesn't actually have to deploy its threats, its 2-drops on turn 2 for it to have an be an effective deck.
Yeah, still weird to call it aggro then, if it's more of a mid-range deck. Then again, let's not go into the naming of decks.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there are some strange choices there.
Okay, so anyway, we are here, of course, round 3, Francesco versus Graeme Fallaize. So this is our second last round of the night. We're seeing a mention here from Alex. If you guys could, it'd be great. Jump on Twitter, follow us on Twitter at SeriousMTG. You know, follow us, tweet about it, talk about it, tell people that you like it if you like it. If you don't, slate us, whatever. You know, get our name out there. Like we need people getting involved here. You know, this is something we hope people are enjoying, and if you are, let's tell people about it and get more people involved. It'd be great. Some attack with both rhinos. Graeme looking to double block here. He has the 2 mana available to return a creature with his Temur Sabertooth, so he can give something indestructible and return a creature if he wishes. Always risky with the rhino having trample.
Yeah,
you never know.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
because what Francesco has to do here, because the rhino has trample, and before you go and declare you are declare blockers, but before damage, you have to return the courser.
Yeah.
So
before damage you order blockers first, right? So he's ordered blockers now. He's put the Temur Sabertooth first and the Courser Kruvik second. But if he wants to give his Temur Sabertooth indestructible, he's going to have to do something with that remaining 2 mana.
Yeah, and bounce that Courser if he doesn't want to lose that Courser. Of course.
But also as well, that's a trigger. So what he does, or it's an activated ability, should I say. So he says, pay 2, return the Courser as a part of a cost, as far as I know. Give the guy indestructible, and then Francesco can just go, in response, kill your guy.
He lets it die.
I think he has to, because if he tries to spend 2 mana to do the trick I was just talking about there, Francesco almost certainly has a removal spell, and
that's true.
He falls so far behind on tempo. So I don't mind that trade. It's not awful. Considering it's going to be very hard for him to find a spot to spend the 2 mana safely.
Are we going to see it here? Is it? Yeah, it's Wingmate Rock.
It's probably just Wingmate Rock second main. Yeah, Francesco happy to just let it go. I think Francesco thinks, I can trade a Rhino here for a Sabertooth. If he double blocks, I do nothing. He can't do anything. If he does, I kill his guy.
Yeah.
So if he gets a huge tempo play, if Graeme tries anything, if he doesn't, he just goes second main, make 2 Wingmate Rocks. Well, essentially 2 Wingmate Rocks. This is a huge play because these green decks, we know, generally have quite a problem with dealing with creatures in the air.
They really do. Until you hit that one very important card.
The flyer that makes loads of flyers, you might say.
That kind of thing. Where
kind of comes up the air. We don't often hear it, but sometimes you just gum up the air.
Yeah, and it's if that thing didn't have Death Touch, it would only be half as good, but still good. I mean, it's fair enough.
It wouldn't be nearly as good. It would be almost unplayable, I think. It'd be good and limited still, but that's about it.
Well, Graeme playing the mono green, he also plays Arbor Colossus, which is of course a very good card.
Very true indeed.
So we're going to see Temur Sabertooth. Oh, this is a shame because he's doing it for 4, which gets him to pile crowns, but in this case, probably would have preferred to Whisperwood Elemental.
Yes, I believe he would have. That sounds about right to me. Whisperwood Elemental here, going to be able to, well, if he could hit it, make some 2/2s, which can start getting in front of Rhinos, double blocks, triple blocks, start opening up a lot easier there. But still, 5/5 Pelucanos, not awful.
Still blocks a Rhino.
It blocks a Rhino profitably, but it doesn't block a flyer, and 6 points of damage are going to come across where possible here for Graeme too. So
Arbor Colossus would have been the best possible card that he could get for 5. That is, again. And Francesco drawing a Bile Blight there, I think, which is very nice because he can suddenly turn all those coursers into 0/1s.
Just looking at Graham's list here, how many of the Arbor class? He has a full 3 actually, or well, I say full 3.
Oh, you wouldn't play 4.
No. 3 though, 3 Arbor classes, that's quite a lot.
Yeah, and Francesco choosing to just attack with his flyers.
Graham on 11 here,
No,
Francesco.
he's probably going to go all out, and
Okay.
Graham has to block. If he blocks the Rhino, oh well, he can also now just Bile Blight the Polychronos, making it 2/2, and getting more damage across.
So Graham needs to be very aware here that the trample on the Rhino. Yeah, I just put everything in front of this. I think, just put it all in front of it.
Yeah.
Like he kills what 1-2 guys. It's like
Yeah.
he can
Well,
only
this
deal.
way, he can only deal 4 damage.
Exactly.
So this way, his Rhino either, he Bile Blights the coursers, which would be a high value play,
Yeah.
kills off 2 coursers, and trades off his Rhino.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, so you probably don't put 2 courses in front, which maybe Graham has copped that. So you go. Actually, no. Sorry, he has put. Has he got
He
3
has
courser
put- he has
crews?
3
Oh,
coursers.
okay. Sorry, he has a full 3.
I
Okay,
mean,
so
still losing 2 would be quite bad in this situation because the double mana symbols for Nyctos
yes,
are very
true
relevant. At the moment, he has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 mana that he could potentially make.
Very, very true indeed. Actually, and not useless effect here is 3 life if he.
So yeah, we see
untaps.
Bile Blight on the coursers here.
Okay. So we're going to see Bile Blight on the coursers, which means both coursers are going to become -1 ones.
Yeah,
-1 doesn't come up all that much.
yeah.
On the power.
Graham could not have casted the Genesis Hydra for 5. He tapped 3 lands to play his 3rd Courser of Krufix, then using his 2 remaining lands to add 6 mana on his Nyctos, which is enough to play a Genesis Hydra for 4.
Okay.
Never would have been enough for 5. Just to
Okay.
clarify that.
The D-Max, Dara Maxwell, it has to be you, over from Philly, watching from there. So another one from the US. Good to see you here, mate. Haven't seen you in a while. Get home for a pint at some stage. Sorry I missed you last time, but yeah, get your ass back here and let's have a pint. So, Francesco, anything in the second main here? Another Wingmate Rock, of course. Well, it'd have to be land and Wingmate Rock, but that would be ideal. I just find anything else he can play to the board really is just going to get blocked by all the other guys.
Yeah. And Graham being cut off the devotion here is going to be in a very tricky spot, having this Polychronos left. Thing is, if Warden, this one's going to come down here.
Okay.
Because of losing 4 devotion, he can't pump his Polychronos very big.
That's another relevant fact, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But now, with only 1 mana available and 3 cards in his graveyard, Graham's going to gain 1 life at least. Whisper with Elemental.
So not representing any removal spell.
Yeah, he doesn't have a removal spell for that 1 mana left to use. So Graham can safely cast anything. Hope he catches on to that. But he will need to add all this mana to see if he can get rid of the flyers.
Okay, Shamanic Revelation. Gain 8.
Gain 8.
Not bad.
That is also quite good.
I'm fine with
And then
gaining 8 and drawing
3 cards.
Drawing 3 cards here.
So he added 6, which means he has 5 mana left in total, having 4 untapped lands. That last card is revealed as well there. Yeah. He already played the land, so
Did he play a land, yeah?
yeah. So then Whisper with Elemental comes down.
Playing a land here before, doing all the draw cards and all. Is that a slip up?
It's not a slip up. That's probably how Graham likes to play it. I'm not entirely sure if it's correct.
Did he
but
play
maybe
the
if
land
not-
off the top with the courser?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So he did actually clear a land. Okay, no, that's no problem.
Yeah,
That
but
seems
what he
fine.
could have done as well is draw 2 cards, and then he would have had something else on top.
But he's drawing a land.
The Hornet Queen.
If he
So,
plays a land first.
yeah. What I don't like about this particular sequencing is, yes, he gained life, but Francesco has a lot of open mana. He has a deck that plays a lot of removal spells, and he has 2 flyers, and Graham can't block them.
True. He goes to 14 here though. Gives himself a fairly nice life buffer. hoping he can just add a little bit more to the board after drawing his cards, and then untap next turn and have a crazy
If he
turn.
gets to untap now with this Nykthos, the birds are dead, and he can definitely get back into the game. What he could have done last turn is just fight the rocks.
He could have. Well, how much mana could he have made? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
6 and 4, so 10 in total.
Okay, 10. So you get basically
9.
4.
Well, so you get 4.
You get 4, yeah, with a mana spare.
which
So you get to fight
kills
one.
one.
You get to fight a rock, but this
Yeah.
way he gets to add more to his board. He gets to gain 8, take
Yeah.
advantage of the time to gain 8, and then untap with much more mana because of adding stuff to the board. So
Not entirely sure what Francesco can do here.
Francesco just gonna have to hope that Graeme just doesn't go too nuts here with the Nykthos.
Yeah, but getting a Boon Satyr into another land.
Yeah.
Nine,
So he's choosing to play the Windswept Heath here. Is he missing an opportunity to play a Nykthos and go absolutely crazy?
if he has another Nykthos in hand, then I'd say that's definitely not great.
Yeah. So the thing what he might be wary here of is, say, a Hero's Downfall from Francesco. So Francesco might be baiting him here into using the Pelucanos
Yeah.
to spend all his mana, try wipe basically Francesco's board. In response, Hero's Downfall the Pelucanos, and it basically destroys Graeme, and he gets to untap and probably close to kill him. However,
doesn't actually really matter. He could just Whisper with Elemental.
Whisperwood Elemental, but he can't block
Sack it.
flyers.
Yeah, he can't block
sacrifice-
flyers. So I would just attack with everything, see what happens. Then in the second main, I would try to fight. But if something would happen to my Polychrons, I would, just sack the Elemental. It all depends, really.
Like, well, he doesn't want to get too. Okay, here we go.
Hornet Queen.
Here we go. Hornet Queen.
That fixes everything.
Does fix an awful lot. So what I was going to suggest there was, if he was going to go for the Pelucanos play with the Nykthos, what he could have done was gone for a second copy of Nykthos in one turn, make a lot of mana, and what you can actually do with a Nykthos is, it doesn't come up an awful lot, but sometimes it does, especially when you have a lot of mana. You can try fight a few of your opponent's creatures. If you think they have something like a Hero's Downfall in hand, you can go, make a lot of mana, spend about half of it, try kill a few of your guys, see what you do. If you think this is the spot where you need to remove my guy with a Hero's Downfall, you try Hero's Downfall my Pelucanos. In response to your Hero's Downfall, I can actually activate my Pelucanos again, and I can try fight and the same few guys. So if I've used about half of my mana first, try kill 2 guys. If you try Downfall, in response, try kill them again, so you actually do get to use those removal spells and play around the Downfall. So thought maybe that might have come up that turn.
Yeah. Yeah, from the sideboard, we could definitely see Stats and Tactics come in.
Yeah, very true.
And Graeme finally realising that he didn't reveal the top card of his library yet, which he's required to do with Courser of Crufix.
Indeed he is. So that's a lot of things.
That's
That's a lot of
definitely,
permanents.
yeah, that's a lot of permanents.
And he still hasn't used his Pelucanos.
No.
And that's 3 more pips off the
Devotion.
off
So-
the Hornet Queen. So
Yeah,
he's
there's 11 Devotion.
Yeah,
and
so
he has
he's-
plenty of lands.
2 manifest creatures. Do we know what they are?
One is the Nykthos for sure.
Yeah.
The other one
Could be anything.
could be anything.
Could be anything.
I'm not sure
Absolutely
if I saw
anything.
a land on top there or not, so can't be sure.
Yeah, could be anything. So fetching away.
Yeah.
Here's the old Courser Crufix fetch land interaction. Get rid of that nonsense off the top of my deck. So this is a rough matchup, I think, for Abzan. Generally, a creature deck, like an Abzan deck, is going to have problems with these Devotion decks. It's kind of what
They're
we saw
also creature
earlier.
decks,
They
yeah.
are, yeah. They're creature decks that get to play Nykthos, and they get to just go a little bit nuts in the game.
Okay, so what do we see here? Here we see
Turn bestow the Boon Satyr on a token, a flying token,
yeah.
something like that. Yep, fair
Yeah.
enough.
Now that's great because now we see let's see 1, 2, 3, 4. We see a gain 16 draw about I don't know, like 15 cards.
Off Shamanic Revelation.
Yeah.
Does he have it in hand?
Oh yeah, he just
Oh,
read
wow.
off top. He had,
Oh.
he had a nice.
Oh, you
foil
revealed
there
it
as
with
well.
the
Yeah.
Courser.
Yeah.
Francesco can't feel too pleased about that.
Well, at this stage, yeah, don't think that there's realistically anything Like, remove some of his creatures? Yeah, okay. And then what?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna add 11 mana here
Yeah.
because I can.
Top 3 of my lands at 11 mana. This is Cabal Coffers-esque.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
There we go. Another Genesis Hydra. This
Okay.
time for 9. Yes.
Okay, so he's going to get terribly greedy here, as he can. Leave 5 lands up, go for the big Hydra.
What's
and
happening here?
then...
Oh, I think he looked at the bottom of his library.
Okay.
It's
Was
a bit sloppy.
was the top card not revealed off the
It
course
was. It was.
So that should have been put back on top.
Yeah, so he hits Arbor Colossus, Hornet Queen. So that's 8 cards now. Or is that 9 cards? Oh, it is 9 cards. Oh. Okay, so another Hornet Queen, because why not?
Oh yeah. Hornet Queen because it draws you an extra 5 cards off your shamanic revelation you're about to draw. Like,
This is also why I don't really like these devotion decks that that don't really kill anything. You're just congesting the board with more and more creatures.
he doesn't kill anything. He's gonna untap next turn if he can, and Palooka knows the world away. He could Palooka knows probably both players next to him on the table as well. Their board presences too if he wanted. Look at how much mana he's gonna make.
He's going to attack with some of these things. He's going to attack with 3 Hornets, 1 Hornet Queen, attack with the big thing,
Yep. The big fella.
attack with the Whisperwood Elemental. Well, what choice do you have here?
Yeah. You come across with your Palooka. Oh no, of course not Palookanos. That's one card you definitely don't come across with here. His other 4/4 Genesis Hydra from before. Maybe he doesn't want to put it in combat because he wants to use it to gain some life in the second main phase.
I see the having the 2 Teamer Sabertooths, not just about bouncing Hornet Queens, but imagine just bouncing your Genesis Hydra and recasting it. Why
Pretty
not?
sweet. Pretty sweet.
I just prefer to give things haste when you do it.
Yeah. Your man is way worse though.
It's kind of complicated. So I have a CDC in play, and I want to whip back another one, right? But I want to keep the original one. Yeah. So I still get the trigger off the one I use it, right? But yeah. But you choose which one. I know, yeah. Still enters the battle. Does it still count? Yeah. Yeah. That's these things still count.
Alright, okay, so loads of attackers here. Francesco is going to level up his Warden of the First Tree a few times. Put some counters on it and make it, I don't know, what is this thing? He's a 1/1, then he becomes a 3/3, and then he puts 5 counters on him?
No, it's 2 mana becomes a 3/3 something. He changes
Lifelink
types.
Trample or something like
no,
that?
that's for 4 mana. He gets Trample and Lifelink.
Yeah.
Then for 6 mana, you put 5 counters on him.
Okay, and you can just keep doing that then, can't you?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So at the moment it's an 8/8.
Okay. Also, for 4 mana, you just change its creature type and give it lifelink and trample or something?
Well, no, for 2 mana you change it into a 3/3.
Okay.
And then for 4 mana you don't change power and toughness, but he does change creature types again, and he gets
Lifelink and trample or something?
Lifelink and Trample.
Okay. So, he's a human. If you pay 2, he becomes a human warrior. If you pay 4, he becomes a human spirit warrior with trample and lifelink, and then you just start putting counters on him. So he remains a human spirit warrior.
Yeah.
Why does he become a spirit warrior? He just has extra spirit because he's lifelink and trample?
I don't know. Why does Figure of Destiny turn into a spirit?
Does it turn into a spirit?
Oh yeah.
Oh, does it? It changes creature types
Yeah,
as well?
it does the same thing.
So what you're telling me is Warden of the First Tree becomes a spirit warrior simply because it looks a lot like Figure of Destiny.
It does.
Like, it doesn't die.
Here,
It doesn't become a ghost.
Figure of Destiny. See, he becomes a Kifkin spirit.
Yeah.
Well, he was originally Kifkin, and he becomes a Kifkin spirit warrior.
Okay.
And then
And then he becomes an avatar. Well, that's sick. Yeah.
No, he becomes a Kifkin spirit warrior avatar
Nice.
with flying and first strike
Yeah.
as an 8/8. So
Well, that's cool. But this is just like, he becomes a human warrior, then you pay 4, he chops himself and becomes a human spirit warrior for no good reason.
yeah. Even the first one is like, at first he was just a human. He didn't do anything at all.
Yep.
Then he became a
Lowly
warrior.
1/1 human. Alright. So, have we even made it through blocks here yet?
No. See, this is why I don't like this kind of devotion deck. Because
Yeah.
basically you congest the board, but you never really do anything.
Well, he's doing quite a lot.
Well, yeah, you put a lot of permanents in play, but is he swinging to kill? No.
Did somebody just call me Eamon? Please. Please, God, don't call me Eamon. Daniel Gilligan here, in Gamers World. We're here for Standard. I'm beside Sander Bars.
Yes.
Eamon Jones is playing playing Standard.
Playing
Magic
Standard.
somewhere here in the building tonight.
Yeah,
Certainly not sitting here.
Playing the mob rules.
Yeah, he is indeed. I have to give him credit for that. Don't want to give Dave Murphy credit for anything, because I'll never hear the end of it.
Well, it's on video now.
Yeah,
Let's hope he doesn't listen back to it.
yeah.
Yeah. I will block your Warden with my Death Toucher. Happily.
Yeah, so...
Still trampled through for a lot of life.
Did he cast a Revelation in the second main? I see 5 lands tapped and we missed that. I don't see it anywhere.
I don't think he did. But the manifest creatures were blocked. They died.
What did he do for 5 mana? So Graeme is actually on 9 still. I can't believe Graeme didn't just Shamanic Revelation for like, 20 life in the second main phase and draw loads of cards.
And why would you only block,
The
with
giant trampler with 1 or 2 guys?
yeah, with just this one guy? There's a big 9/9 Hydra that can absorb most of the damage.
Yeah.
That
This
is-
seems...
he-
Please, God, tell me that Francesco didn't just win that game. Please, someone tell me.
No, I think he did. I think Francesco just won that game.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll give Graeme the benefit of the doubt there. Maybe we didn't see the Shamanic Revelation in hand or something. I feel like he has to cast a Revelation in the second main. Just gain like 16 or 20 life there. Maybe
Not
he has
only
too many
that-
creatures. He just has to draw his whole deck or
but-
something
Yeah,
if
but
he
not
plays
only,
it.
But not only that, yeah, I think that was it. That he had too many creatures and not enough cards left. But even then, he had so many creatures on board. Why not attack with everything?
Yeah, like I there's something we're missing here. Like maybe Francesco had like a ghostly prison or something out, or maybe something like that happened. He forgot Trample. Well, I'm guessing he did forget Trample. Quiedermans. I think that's Guido. But yeah. Yeah, misplace happened, guys. He forgot Trample. That seems to be what's happened here.
Yeah.
So
Warden of the first tree.
I think Francesco's bound to be doing the lotto on the way home, because for him to get out of that game alive is nothing but a miracle, I think.
Does happen sometimes.
He thought he was on a higher life total when he blocked, I guess.
So he forgot the Warden had trample.
No, I think he miscalculated his life total.
Did he have Shamanic Revelation in hand? What did he cast second main?
He
tapped a 5
manifested
for something.
He manifested up one of his creatures.
Yeah,
He's flipped something up.
he manifested another Whisperwood.
Another Whisperwood Elemental. That is among the greediest things I've ever heard in my life. Just so he could make 2 more 2/2s. And then he still only blocked with like 1 or 2 things.
He blocked with one Hornet Queen.
He blocked with the Hornet Queen and 1 token.
Yeah, that's only 3. And
So if
was
he
on-
blocks with both of those, he has to know it has trampled in. And then think he has like, I don't know.
Then I think he just thought he was on a higher life total than he actually was.
or
What was he
that
He
you
was
couldn't
on, like,
activate
5
the
or
ability
something.
Oh,
again.
he's on 5, okay.
I think he was on 9 last check, and then the thing was pumped up a couple more times as well. So
Yeah.
Guys, take it easy here. Come on now, take it easy. Graeme, it's been a long day. He's probably been work.
yeah,
Might have had a few beers after work on the way over here to play Magic. You never know. We all make misplays here and there, especially when he's tired. Okay, so sideboarding out. It looked like some Genesis Hydras.
Why would you ever sideboard that out? And why would
Sideboarding
you put in
in.
Nissas?
Nissas, and what was the other card?
Nylea,
Nylea.
second Nylea. Okay, so see, this is the thing where I'm saying Nylea. You basically go through your entire deck, and then casting that Nylea to give your guys trample, which is great. it's nice if you have a lot of big things, but if you have as many big things as we've just seen,
Yeah, you don't really need trample.
you
a lot
don't
of
need
times, right?
trample.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if he had swung out with everything, there was no way Francesco could have blocked
Yep.
that he was going to keep his creatures.
Yep.
And then what? He can't kill Graeme on the next turn.
True.
So what does he do? You know, he has nowhere to go.
Just saying, Graham's last name starts with fail. Oh, guys, come on. Come on now. Oh, dear.
That's,
Okay.
yeah, that's not a very nice thing to say.
No. All right, he's got a chance to make up for it here. Yeah, it's been a long day. We'll put this one down to a long day.
I can probably God hand the mana dorks into the coursers, into
Yeah.
the
Absolutely.
things.
I openly last week during Modern coverage was discussing the card Scape Shift, saying on more than one occasion that you sacrifice the lands as part of the cost of playing the spell. So we all have our
well
off
done,
days.
well done,
I
Dan.
knew that
Well
wasn't even
done.
true. I was just saying it because it
It's
was
okay.
an off day.
It's okay. Eamon said yesterday that counter squall targets creature spells.
Yep.
It's also some kind of.
Well, come on now. Counterswell doesn't see all that much play.
It shouldn't.
No. But like, did he say like he could counter an abrupt decay or something, or
No.
there was something that's uncounterable that he was talking about countering, was he? I don't know. Anyway, we all have our off days. That's the point.
I only have off days. That one day I'm on.
Strictly off
is,
days. Yeah.
yeah.
When you're on, you're really on.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a big deal. Like, yeah, you just walk down. You have your own theme music that day. Like, it just comes on as you're
Probably,
walking
yeah.
down the road. Yeah. All right. Okay, players shuffling up here. We're gonna see a game 3.
Wasn't. Wait, who won game 1?
Who won game 1? I
That
don't
was
know.
game 1.
That was game 1.
Yes.
No, it wasn't. Was it?
Do you want to bet?
To snatch defeat from the draws of victory. Yeah, I like that one. Absolutely. Is that actually game 1? I feel like we played 2 games.
I
Oh,
think I'm going to double check that.
yeah. You won Forest, 1 Nykthos. Some Corsair Crew fix possibly. He flashed a lot of green cards there. I believe it was only Forest and a Nykthos, and I thought I saw some double green cards, so not certain what Graeme has kept here.
So, yeah, that was game 1.
That was game 1. That was a long game 1. That was like a 30-minute game 1. Francesco can't believe that he won that game. Corsair Crufix, Nylea, something else there in Graham's hand. Corsair Crufix, Nylea, what was another card? Possibly a Genesis Hydra there too, so a lot of double green cards in Graham's hand, and only 2 lands, so he's kept a little bit of a risker here on the draw. Or on the play, should I say. Francesco taking a mulligan.
I just stepped out to stop one of my little things that I get slightly annoyed about. It's when you've done your game 1 and you still pile out your deck.
Yeah.
It does nothing to randomize your library. It's
Yep.
absolutely unnecessary. It just takes a lot of time. We've
Wait,
had
so
a very long game 1.
You mean between games?
Yeah, before it's okay because you're counting your deck,
Yeah.
checking that you don't accidentally have sideboard cards in there or left cards from your main deck in your sideboard.
Yeah.
But
But you
it's
you
okay.
don't like
I just don't
when
like it
between
when people
games
between
after sideboarding.
games after sideboarding that you just pile out your entire deck again.
I think 1 is fine. No, when you do your sideboard
Oh,
and you
because
put your 15
imagine-
cards back in your
Yeah,
sideboard.
okay, but imagine you're shuffling your deck first,
Yeah.
then you pile them out,
Yeah.
you shuffle again.
Yeah.
That takes very long, and it does
Yeah.
nothing to extra randomize your deck.
Well,
You
no,
should just
but I think
shuffle
1
properly.
count is fine. 1 count is fine, right? 1 count is fine.
There's
I
no
think.
need.
I like 1 count myself. I have to say.
You do.
I'm a 1 count man. Never more than 1. You don't ever need more than 1 pile shuffle. I'm simply not taking. I'm not accepting one more than more than 1 pile shuffle.
No, but it's just between games. Just between games. I don't care if it's at the start or if you do it after you finish your match, but between games,
after you finish your match,
no
it's fine
need.
with me. Sign your slip, give it to me. Feel free to pile shuffle all you want.
it's not even a shuffle. It's counting your cards.
Yeah, you stack your lands and spells together during gameplay. Yeah, the point that Sander's making here, of course, that pile shuffling doesn't actually truly randomize your deck. It's not a randomization technique.
No, it's mainly done to count your cards, and it doesn't because it doesn't randomize sufficiently. You may as well not do it, and especially between games. Players in matches are usually required to take not too long for sideboarding, because every time you as a player take more time, you're taking time away from your opponent as well. So you have to find a fair kind of balance in that. And some players do it really fast, and that's okay. But yeah, it's especially also because these guys played a 30-minute game one, and we don't want to make them drag it out too much. So there's no extra need, and therefore, as a friendly reminder.
My friend just got DQ'd from a GP for not pile shuffling. I just really struggle to believe that.
I do struggle to believe that.
That just can't be true. Who is going to DQ someone for not pile shuffling? It's not a requirement. Pile shuffling is simply not a requirement. You're required to know that your deck is the right amount of cards. Doesn't mean you have to pile shuffle to do it.
Exactly. Yeah. The only reason I could see there that someone gets EQ, that's probably not the full story then.
Yeah, not shuffling, not randomizing, some amount of, piling your cards, how do you call it, like weaving or whatever, that kind of thing, like not randomizing your deck.
Yeah, if you weave your deck, that's stacking your deck, that's cheating, that's DQ, that's straight up DQ. But I just said that pile shuffling doesn't randomize, so if anything, that means you would stack your deck if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So no, that I don't believe that anyone would. No.
Yeah, that's a mistake. I'm sorry, dude. That just didn't happen. Let's get on with life. Let's just get past that. And Graeme here.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. Going for the Whisperwood Elemental and manifesting your Nissa, which in this format you will not be able to get on the battlefield.
Yeah. Okay. So Francesco here with just one Fleece main line. Not really able to add anything else to the board here, so.
Well, Nikto is obviously doing a lot of work for Graeme in this situation.
Okay. Only one green source here for Francesco so far. Usually not an issue. No Courser Crewfix in this deck, so you can generally get away with only one green.
Yeah, so getting DQ'd for insufficient randomization is a very different story from what you first said. So.
Yeah. Anyway, is Abzan running sweepers in the board?
We
it
can
is
have a
running 2 or 3 copies of Drown in Sorrow.
Yeah,
so
he's also running Back to Nature, which gets rid of Coursers.
It does indeed. 2 of them on the battlefield
except
right now.
that Graeme only plays Coursers. There's 1 End to Hostilities, and
Wow.
Elspeth, Sun's champion, obviously takes care of a lot of big things.
Here we go. Utter end from Francesco on the main phase, taking care of the face down Nissa.
That is a very strange play. I think
He can't turn that. Maybe
he
he's.
can't turn that face up.
Maybe he's confusing what that card, what the manifest
what
actually
manifest
does.
yeah. Because I don't think in that case, I think you just try to get the elemental.
Just kill the Whisperwood Elemental. And
Yeah.
not only is he going main phase to kill the face down manifest, he's paying full retail here. Other end, full retail, 4 mana. Exile a thing. You're paying for that card.
And he's in a bit of trouble now because there was lots of mana added. We just see his second Nykthos being tapped for more mana after a Nylea has already come down.
Because he wouldn't pile shuffle after the judge asked him to. I swear it happened. Yeah, sure, the judge might have said to him, I need you to sufficiently randomize your deck. We're going to need to do A and B here, whatever. We're going to need to do something to get past the fact that I believe you're not sufficiently randomizing your deck. If the player refused to do what the judge asked him, which is to randomize his deck, it may have been at the time that he was asking him to first pile shuffle and then possibly afterwards do something else. But the judge did not sit there and say, if you don't pile shuffle right now, you're disqualified from the event. What the judge was basically saying was, if I don't believe you're sufficiently randomizing your deck, you're disqualified from the event. So they're two very different things. They may have been slightly related at the time, but he didn't get disqualified for not pile shuffling.
Yeah, that's no. I realized that he could return a Nissa to his hand with the Sabertooth, but the point is that he can't flip it face up.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of it. So the choice of going for that Nissa there with other hand was strange, to say the least.
Well, okay, so he can bring it back. He can recast it.
Recast
he
it,
can-
yeah. That's fair enough, yeah.
Also, as well, the mono green deck here playing a lot of forests get to take a fair advantage of the second ability on Nissa, which we don't see all that much. Untapping
It's great.
forests.
You can play Nissa for 1 mana.
but essentially,
Effectively.
yep.
It's quite good.
Yeah, why would someone refuse to shuffle if a judge asks them to? That's a very relevant question, but probably slightly beside the point here. But yeah, I can't imagine going to a Grand Prix and a judge asking me to do something and just straight up refusing. Like,
Yeah.
doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, But sure, anyway, to each their own. Whatever floats your boat, all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe he was just having a bad day, like Graeme did in game 1. Maybe things just didn't fall his way. Cards didn't line up right.
Yeah. Obviously, you see a lot of commons and things, and unless, see, we're just talking here, but unless we are the judges involved, who did the investigation and who ended up disqualifying the player, I'm not going to say anything else on it.
Okay, so players shuffling up here. Moving to game 3 very shortly.
Yeah. Well, Green Devotion came back with vengeance there.
It did indeed. These are the types of decks it preys on, so not a huge surprise. And that looks like a lot of lands.
It does look
But
like a
it's
lot of
one
land.
Drown and Sorrow in hand, so maybe he wants to keep it on the back of a Drown.
And you have some. If you have some scry effects, then why not? You
Very
know, you
true.
can just get to your early drops that way.
Yep.
And he's keeping
And
it,
he's
so
keeping it.
it's. And there's Elf.
Okay, so step 1 of playing into Drown and Sorrow, tick box.
Yeah.
Let's see how far he can play into it. Something tells me a turn to
Well, the thing
Voyaging
is,
Satyr.
Graham doesn't play those Voyaging Satyrs, so.
He doesn't
you know,
play Voyaging Satyr?
No, we already talked about this.
Sorry,
when he
you're
came
dead
up in
right,
the
he
first
didn't.
match.
And
yeah,
he's
he's
carried. Wow, so this would have been a Voyaging Satyr if it had been the other way around.
Yeah,
So-
I would have played. If I play Mono Green, I play Voyaging Satyrs.
Yeah,
I
especially
don't
when
play
you're playing a full
Caryatids.
4 Nykthos in the main as well.
And if you play more colours, you don't play Elvish Mystic because he doesn't add anything but green. So you just add Caryatids, so you
Yeah.
don't go for your level
Yeah,
1 or
yeah.
for your turn 1
It
play.
depends how many playing, So usually a deck like this will play 3 copies or 4 copies of Courser Kruvix and probably not a lot else in the 3 slot. So curving kind of 1 to 3 not as important as curving 2 into 4.
I think we're going to see something here, or not, if he doesn't have it.
So
That was already a pass on this turn 2.
yeah, I feel like this Drown and Sorrow out of the board for Francesco here, it's almost like misinformation in a way. Like a lot of times it is actually a very good card against a deck like the mono green deck for the simple reason that it picks off all the mana guys, but the Caryatid
And
here
there we
really
see
doing a
that
big job.
one card from Fatal Forge. Valorous stands taking
Oh,
care of a turn
nice.
3 Arbor Colossus.
Very nice.
That is probably the best play possible.
So Graeme missing a land drop on his last turn here. Should Francesco fire it off the Drownosaur to take care of that elf?
I would like that play.
Oh, hang on a second. I might have drawn I was about to say, how did he make a land drop this turn? He must have drawn the...
Would have
Would have
Foothills,
Foothills
but
this
wanting
turn.
to play the.
Okay.
Can we see an untapped source here? Yes. And we have 3
And
black.
do we have a rat here by any chance?
He does have end hostilities in his deck.
Does he have end hostilities in the sideboard
well,
perhaps, is it?
one in the sideboard,
Okay,
yeah.
one of.
So we could
2
see
elves
it.
with Sun Champion as well. Does that card come in here?
I'd say so, yeah. There's plenty of things that cost, that he does 4. He is now able to cast Genesis Hydra for 4.
So really, Francesco looking to play a 6th land and 2 copies of Drownosaur on the same turn. I think that's maybe what he's playing towards here.
Yeah, he needs one more black source to do that, though.
Very true indeed. Deck probably playing a 1 of Urborg through the augment. At least
there's
1 anyway.
There is 2.
2, okay. So we're back to the mana issues that this deck can exhibit at times. Really very questionable mana at times here.
Yeah. And are we going to see a Genesis Hydra for 4 with that Horny Queen on top?
Yeah, so we're watching Standard here. This is not a PPTQ. We've been covering a couple of those in the last little while. We covered a PTQ and a PPTQ weekend there a couple of weeks back. This is just a weekly tournament, right? So weekly Standard that we play here in Gamers World.
Oh, now you just get
Miss.
a 6 mana 4/4.
Wow. So yeah, we're just playing a Standard tournament. We play these on Thursday. We play Modern as well on Wednesday here. So if any of you guys are interested, check it out. Each week, Wednesday, we play the SCG game night.
Yep.
On Wednesday, so tokens and all those kind of pins, all that kind of good stuff.
They look lovely.
They do indeed. Little hilarious wolves and
Wolves this
oozes
month.
and yeah. So just magic. Like people said there. Don't need to give any reason to play Magic. Doesn't need to be any huge motivation. No big prizes. Let's just come out and have some fun. Play some games.
Yeah. And it's nice. Videos help players. We get some experience doing commentary on them. We learn more as well as we go.
Yep.
Players can rewatch their matches. They learn something of the current format. Especially local players here can watch this if they're newer to the game as well. Get familiar with some of the people who play here.
For sure.
Some of the
What
decks,
decks they're playing,
what
yeah.
decks they play. So we have that.
Yeah. I think people are very interested in that as well, getting to rewatch their own matches, see
Yep.
where they went wrong, it's nice to look at your own kind of your match from afar, I suppose, over your own shoulder, kind of see, you remember what you were thinking at the time.
Okay, so we see Drain and Sorrow and Graeme picking up his Caryatid for some reason.
Oh wow, do we actually see, is there going to be a second copy of Drown and Sorrow here from Francesco?
I think he
there
has
is.
it.
I think
Oh
he
my
has
God,
it.
that's
Wow,
amazing.
this is a pretty incredible
Yes.
turn. He does actually have it.
Wow.
Wow.
And Graeme likes to say wow, so I can only imagine at the moment he's saying wow.
Yeah, that really is a big wow.
And you get the scry twice. So if you bottom one, you get to look at another.
Very true. Big wow. Did you ever hear that one back in the day? That was an Irish saying we used to use back in the day.
Really, big wow.
Big wow. Never used that one?
I know.
No?
Can't say I have.
Some of you folks out there might have known that one. Big wow. Yeah. Okay. Genesis Hydra. X
4.
equals 3.
Yep.
1, 2, and a
Course
swing and a miss.
Boom. That happens sometimes.
Okay. So 2 misses actually from the Hydra here from Graeme.
Yep.
4-4 first time, 3-3 this time. Pretty unlucky here. Well, for 3 I guess you can't.
Sometimes you get there, sometimes you don't. Again, there are also days where you cast it for 10 and still get 9 lands.
Evan McHugh. The Evan McHugh special, I like to call that one.
Oh, it dig through time for 7
Dig through
lands.
time for 7 lands. Yeah.
I know I was talking about my own Genesis Hydra for 10 and 9 lands.
Oh, you actually did that.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, my 10th card was the last combo piece.
Sweet.
So,
I saw Ev also one time with a Chandra Pyramaster Ultimate, 9 lands, and the 10th card was a Lightning Strike. He almost hit 10 lands off Chandra Ultimate.
wow.
I was like over his shoulder pleading. I was like, come on, 10 lands, and he nearly hit it. It was class.
Yeah.
But he got
So he
there
copied
eventually.
He copied the Lightning Strike a few times, killed
Oh yeah,
someone.
dealt 9, yeah. And well, he complained afterwards, obviously, as he loves to do.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
I hit 9 lands. Well, you hit him and killed. You killed him with the last one. Yeah, but I hit 9 lands. You killed him with the ultimate. Stop complaining.
Yeah. But how do you even get to Ultimate Chandra?
Yeah. Okay, so Siege Rhino here from Francesco. Building his way back into this game. So he's going to gain 3 here. The old drain and gain. The Lightning Helix effect. And shutting down that 3-3 as well. Make a
Yeah.
blocker, make an attacker.
And now he goes Hornet Queen.
Oh,
There
God.
we
Not
go.
you. Here we go again. 6 power and toughness spread across 5 creatures. All of them death touch, all of them flying, all of them equally as annoying.
Yes.
Yep.
Still one of my favorite cards.
Yeah.
Especially in the previous standard.
So trample here potentially.
Remember that final of that nice small GPT?
I
where
do,
with
I do.
Naya tokens.
Yeah, me
What a
versus
game that
you.
was.
That was quite awesome, I have to say. One of my fonder memories in the game of Magic. That was like 2 hours or something. That was the
I think
longest game.
Yeah, our game 3 was 55 minutes.
So long, and like everyone, and no one left as well. Like everyone stayed to watch it. It was such an epic game.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
What was it again? Like killed you for Exacties with double Elspeth making 3 guys with Purpose on the field.
Play the Elspeth
Oh
plus
my
it.
God.
Play the other one plus it. Yeah, that was sweet.
Blocking with 2 tokens.
Okay.
Yeah, that kills the Siege Rhino. Also stops 2 damage from going through.
Okay. So Bile Blight there was probably something he would have been looking for.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Francesco flooding out here a bit, but being able to double Drown in Sorrow, he was actually able to get there comfortably. Seeing Urborg in his hand.
Okay. Hero's downfall.
Hero's
on the
downfall
3/3.
to Hydra.
Not ideal, but he gets to keep his life total a little bit higher here.
Yeah, just taking 4.
So, how do you feel about the attack with the Rhino last turn? Do you feel like, do you keep the Rhino back so he can't get as aggressive? I mean, I guess he can't block the flyer, so do you keep Rhino back and do you use a Hero's Downfall on one of the Hornet Queens or something, or?
Let's look at Francesco's deck list and see. There's 1 Drown in Sorrow left in that deck. One, which could really help him here.
It would be rather incredible.
I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Yeah, I'd go as far as to say it might win him the game if he draws it. So, I'm sure his fingers are crossed. He has also a copy of End Hostility.
If he sided that in, then yes, that could get any kind of board wipe, killing off.
You better believe End Hostilities is in his deck here. There's just no way that card's in the sideboard right now. But two lands.
2 lands, and that gets.
Copy of Urborg there. That doesn't do anything.
Bob Light is the card he needed, or anything. There's the End
Hostilities. Yeah, absolutely sided in. One of your premium spells to draw against a mono green deck like this.
Oh yes.
However, Whisperwood Elemental finding its way into these decks, numbers creeping up, 2s, 3s, 4s here and there. So
it's definitely a 4 creature.
Yeah, does a lot of work against a card like End Hostilities.
Yeah.
Okay, so we see Graeme Fallaize manages to claw his way back from that horrendous misplay in game 1, and he does